What's up everyone, I'm CallumOnToast, and in today's video I'm going to be showcasing some battles in the Open Great League submitted to the channel by Hyru762, who's running a triple drill run team with Rapidash, Dunsparce and Escavalier. By the way, I wanted to mention that for some people there's an update available for Pokemon Go that fixes a lot of the stuttering and frame drops that have made the game pretty much unplayable for the past few days. It's still not perfect, but it's a lot better, so definitely do check to see if that update is available for you to download right now. But with that being said, let's just get into the question of the day. This is quite a broad one, but what do you think is the most underrated charge move in the entire game? And this is for PvP, by the way, I'm not talking about PvE, but let me know in the comment section down below. And with that being said, let's get into the battles now. Alright, so heading into the first battle, Rapidash into Magcargo, and depending on the fast move, well, since it's Rock Throw, we're going to have to get out of there really quickly. I was going to say, if it was Incinerate, actually, Rapidash probably has a slightly positive matchup there, since Duron is almost definitely going to one-shot them since it's double super effective. But either way, we're going to swap into Dunsparce and we bait out a Wigglytuff. So looking like a pretty toxic team so far from the opponent. We're happy to just let this move go through. We've already grabbed the shield, got them pretty much into the yellow health range, yep. And unfortunately, we don't quite make it to another drill run, but we can come in with the Rapidash. And this one, I think with the correct play is probably just to shield this, go for the Incinerate farm down, and we're going to come out with back-to-back drill runs loaded. So if they come back in with Magcargo, we're going to fire it off straight away. Drill run, gonna hit for double super effective, grabs the final shield, and we swap into Escavalier. The opponent tries to catch a triple resisted drill run onto their Tropius, but unfortunately for them, we swap into Escavalier, going for the Mega Horn, dealing huge damage, and they are running Razor Leaf as well, so this is perfect for us. We're double resisting it. Even Aerial Ace is gonna hit for neutral damage, but it doesn't do much damage, and at this point, honestly, we can just commit to a full counter farm down, resisted counter farm down, coming out with back-to-back drill runs loaded, and we've also got a drill run on the Rapidash. At this point, it doesn't really matter what we do. We can go for the drill run, and drill run will easily one-shot Magcargo, and we're able to take that game. Into the next battle, see Rapidash into Charjabug. They're going to say swap into Vigoroth, and we can come in with our Escavalier. Unfortunately though, Vigoroth probably going to grab a shield advantage in this matchup. We're going to shield, and the opponent does full send the rock side, so we can't over farm here, but we're going to commit possibly both shields and then go for a full counter farm down. I'm not sure if I would have done this, but we are going for it anyways. They come back in with Charjabug, and we're full sending the Mega Horn here. Probably unlikely to shield, and they do let it go through. That does huge damage up against the Charjabug, and now we can go for a drill run. Drill run is going to grab the first shield from the opponent, and the switch lock is up, so we're going to swap into Rapidash. They throw a move, but the Incinerate damage will KO, and they go for a discharge there, and they've got a Water Gun Lantern in the bag. So of course, not great, but we are ahead on energy, so we can go for the drill run, and the opponent does not respect the damage there, dealing huge damage, and this game is certainly over. They've not got a significant enough energy advantage, so despite being up a shield, we can come in with the Dunsparce. We will be able to outpace them to back-to-back drill runs before they can make it to a Thunderbolt now, and the first drill run is coming through. The opponent will be shielding that up, but just one more roller and we're able to make it to a second drill run. And drill run, of course, from this range takes out the Lantern, and we're able to take that game. Into next game, another fire type in the lead where Rapidash actually going to be pretty good, but instead we're going to swap and we're trying to catch a double resisted Shadow Ball here. The opponent full sends it, and we are able to tank that so easily on the Dunsparce. They're actually going to stay in, fire off a disarming voice, but that's okay. Gonna no shield, and the opponent actually comes in with a Chestnut, which is very interesting because of course Chestnut is going to completely wall the energy. Of course, we just went for a rock side there. In neutral situations, or when both drill run and rock side are either super effective or resisted, you definitely want to go for drill run there, and I think we realized that too. I think at first we just thought, oh, it's a grass type, we'll go for the rock side, and then realized it's also part of fighting, but we are going to stall the clock long enough to swap back into our Rapidash, go for the flame charge, and because we've just boosted our attack, I think this Incinerate damage is going to KO, so despite having pretty much 100 energy there, Chestnut goes down to the Incinerate. We can now go for a drill run. Drill run is boosted, it takes out the Skeledirge, and the opponent is just going to concede the match there. So going into the next battle, we see Toxapex in the lead. So of course, we've got Drill Run full coverage once again, but we've got slightly better matchups in the back. So we're going to swap into Dunsparce, and very good to hold onto our energy there as the opponent tries to catch a resisted Drill Run onto their Trevenant. But since they're not able to make that catch, this is actually a very positive matchup for us. Unfortunately, Seed Bomb going to do slightly more damage this season, so actually the next seed bomb, by the time they do make it, might KO us, and we can't quite go for a roll-up farm down before they do get to that seed bomb. So actually just going to play it safe, use our shield here, now go for the roll-out farm down, and we've got so much loaded energy. They're going to come in with a Credilli, but that's absolutely fine. We can go for the drill run, not going to do much damage at all actually, but we swap into our Rapidash, and the opponent throws on poor timing, giving us a full Incinerate in for free. They go for the rock side, but we barely hang on, and since we got that Incinerate through, we come out with a flame charge loaded, gonna throw straight away and grab the first shield from the opponent. Now we're going to come in with the Escavalier. They've actually got quite a lot of energy, so not ideal for us, but we are double resisting the bullet seed damage. Rock side will grab our final shield. They will just barely make it to another rock side, which is unfortunate, but that's okay. We will be able to live this pretty comfortably, and the opponent's now going to come in with their Toxapex. We're going for the draw run. I think that might have been a CMP tie here. The opponent no shields, and it is a CMP tie. This should just be a Brine though, so Brine not going to do much damage there. We actually barely hang on, but we're going to swap into our Dunsparce straight away, go for another drill run, and drill run is actually going to be no shielded by the opponent, and they're able to outpace us to the charge route. So I'm not sure if that is the right play, but we are going to go down to the Brine, and we can just barely get the counter farm down, and you can see we actually came out with a drill run loaded. So even if they did shield that, we would have made it to a last second drill run there. But into the next battle, we're going to see a Shadow Gyarados in the lead. That is very bad for us. We're going to say swap into our Dunsparce, and the opponent comes in with a Diggersby. So unfortunately, rollouts are resisted. These drill runs are non-stab. They're doing very little damage here. This isn't a matchup we're going to be able to flip, and also if this Diggersby comes out with a lot of energy, we are in trouble because we've got Rapidash, which is going to take super effective damage from the Scorching Sands, and if they've got Fire Punch, then of course we've got Escavalier that hits for double super effective damage up against us. So that is not ideal in the slightest, and it looks like they are massively over farming. So gonna no shield. Scorching Sands doesn't quite take us out there, so we actually swap into our Escavalier. Gonna use the shield of course, and the opponent does go for the Fire Punch. Then I'm gonna swap back into the Shadow Gyarados, and at this point I think we just have to let this move go through. The opponent goes for an Aqua Tail there. We can make it to a Mega Horn. This is resisted damage, but honestly, if they let this go through here, Mega Horn going to do huge damage. We can actually get the counter farm down, but they've got a Dragon Breath Kingdra in the back. This team makes no sense whatsoever. Just when we thought the hardest answer to a Rapidash was taken care of, sorry. We see a flipping Kingdra. They're going to go for the Octazooka, and I don't know if they debuffed us there. I wasn't really paying attention. But at this point, this is game over, unless for whatever reason the opponent thinks, actually, we can take a Flame Charge. I'll just no shield this. So we go for the Drill Run. Drill Run does get shielded. And yeah, nothing we can do, unfortunately. So we're just going to concede the match there. Very strange team in terms of the ordering, but ABA style teams can work, and that is an example of it. But into the next battle, we're going to see a Vigoroth in the lead. So we're actually going to call that they're not going for the rock side. It is just a body slam, and now we can fire off a flame charge. We're happy to just play out the zero shield scenario here. They actually let that go through as well, and they're actually going to throw charge move, which is very unnecessary. Could have just very easily went for the full counter farm down, but now we can come in and get our own counter farm down with the Escavalier. They come in with Skeledirge, and we are swapping the heck out of there, and they're going to come in with a Mantine. So they're going to go straight for a rock side here. Rock side going to do about 50% of the health, just under that actually, but one extra rollout does get them into the other health range. We're actually going to shield here, which I'm not so sure about, but I guess we do have to start shielding at some point. We don't want to get too low, and then Skeledirge just farms us down with the Incinerate damage there. So instead, we're now going to overfarm just a little bit, go for the rock side, and rock side is going to be no shielded by the opponent. The opponent realizing 2 shields and their Skeledirge is the right win condition for them, so we're going to go for the Drill Run, and the opponent actually no shields that as well, realizing Drill Run not going to do as much damage as a Drill Run from the Escavalier, but they go for Crunch there, and now we're just staying in with the Dunsparce, and we've got them into range where honestly we should be able to take this move here. It is just another Crunch, and we can go for a double resisted non-stab counter farm down, and they still had both shields in play, so it looked like the right play for them, but in the end we're actually able to take that. So very strange game there. But into the next battle, we saw an Abomasnow in the lead, so very good lead matchup for us. The opponent say swaps into a Jellicent, and we can go for a Drill Run here. Drill Run again, non-stab, so not doing that much damage, but we are very spammy, so going to go for another Drill Run straight away. Drill Run is going to get them into the red health range, and we probably should be able to live 2 more serves here, so going to no shield the next serve, and if they do outpace us to the next charge, we end up losing CMP, but it doesn't matter, this serve will not KO. The not going to be able to hex farm us down either if they do use a shield here, so not the end of the world, but they are going to let it go down. They're going to come in with a Skeledirge, so at this point, going to come in with the Rapidash, and we should be able to pace at the same timing as the opponent, but win CMP each time. So we go for the drill run straight away, grab a shield from the opponent there. They're probably just going to bait with a disarming voice, but that's absolutely fine here. All we have to do is shield up our Rapidash, and we should be okay, unless the opponent does make a drill run catch onto their Abomasnow, which would be quite interesting. But we farm up to back-to-back drill runs here. This drill run is going to grab the shield, and they don't make the catch there, so we go for drill run number 3, and this will finally take out the Skeledirge, and at this point this is game over, so the opponent's just going to concede the match there. Into next battle, we see Dunsparce in the lead up against our Rapidash. We're going to stay in initially and then eventually swap. Of course, Rarats were hitting for super effective damage, but they're not dealing that much damage there. So we're going to swap into the Dunsparce. Going to go for a drill run here. Unfortunately, Vigoroth is a pretty good counter to Dunsparce, but we've got a head on energy, so we can actually tank this Body Slam here, and we should be able to make it to another drill run just before they get the counter farm down. So definitely not the end of the world. Drill run number 2 gets them into the red health range. This one we come in with the Escavalier, and we can tank a Rock Slide, so we might just no-shield this. We are going to no-shield it. It is the Rock Slide, but we do tank that fairly well. And if they come back in with Dunsparce, of course, those rollouts aren't going to do much damage, but they come in with a Shadow Girafarig, so we're going straight for the Flame Charge here. Flame Charge is going to grab a shield from the Dunsparce, and at this point, we are going to just barely be outpaced. Very good timing from the opponent there. They're going to go for a drill run, and we're not even going to risk going for an extra Incinerate. We're just going to fire off the Charge as soon as possible. They're going to shield, and at this point, I think the win condition is just to let the Rapidash go down here. We can come in with the Escavalier. Of course, we've got Mega Horn for coverage, so if they come back in with the Girafarig, as long as we've got enough energy here, we should be looking fine. And they do come in with the Girafarig. We're going straight for the Mega Horn, and Girafarig is straight in and straight out. We can just go for the full counter farm down up against the Dunsparce, and we're able to take that game. Into next battle, another Vigoroth in the lead this time around, so they will once again outpace us to the Rock Slide, but happy to let this move go through, and again the opponent does just bait with a Body Slam, so correct call there both times. Gonna go for the Flame Charge, and again the opponent's going to let that go through. Is this the same battle? That's strange. No, it might just be the same team though, so a bit confusing there. We're going to come in with the Escavalier, and we are going to let the Psychic Fangs go through. We should still be able to go for a full counter farm down, and let's see what the opponent wants to do. The opponent's going to come back in with their Vigoroth, so we've got a lot of energy. We're going to fire off a drill run straight away, and now we're going to swap into Dunsparce. I'm not so sure about that here. We are going to let this move go through as well as they go for a Body Slam. We should be able to outpace them to the next charge move here, and I don't know if they're going to shield this. We go for the drill run, they let that go through, and they've got Oranguru in the back, so actually running a double Psychic and Normal type backline there with Oranguru and the Shadow Girafarig. We're going to go for the drill run, but unfortunately it just doesn't do much damage there. We're going to shield this up, but if they go for Trailblaze, I think this is pretty much game over. As a confusion damage, I mean, it doesn't quite take us out there, so we do make it to another drill run, but even resisted confusions up against our Escavalier are going to be enough damage now to take us out, and unfortunately we do lose that game. But into the next battle, we see Rapidash into Charjabug. So the opponent's going to say swap into a Dunsparce. We respond with the Escavalier, and we are going to no-shield the first move. The opponent goes for the drill run, and we should just barely make it to a Mega Horn before they make it to the next charge move. We're full sending it here, and Mega Horn is going to be no-shielded. We take out the Dunsparce. They come back in with the Charjabug, and we are committing to the Mega Horn. No point firing off a drill run there because it's not going to do much damage. Instead, Mega Horn does huge damage. It puts them into farm down range, and actually we can come in with the Dunsparce since we will tank this move a lot more comfortably. As they go for a discharge, we can get the rollout farm down, and they've got a Shadow Credilli in the back. So at this point, this is game over, and the opponent recognizes it straight away as they just concede the match there. So that's going to be it for today's video. If you did enjoy it, please make sure you leave a like, leave a comment letting me know, and as well, don't forget to respond to the question of the day if you haven't done so already. And if you want to see more content like this in the future, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on post notifications. That way you'll be notified whenever I upload a new video. And if you want to take your support even further, you can now become a channel member with perks including early access to new videos, shoutouts at the end of each video, custom loyalty badges, and custom emojis to use in the comments. I want to say a massive thank you to everyone that has already become a channel member. Your support is greatly appreciated, and with that being said, thank you all so much for watching today's video, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.